Hannah Gerlander.
And I'm Nora Freed.
And you're listening to High Heels and Punchlines. Wow.
Wow.
But see, it's natural.
All I had to do was think about something terrible.
Did you really?
Yeah. And then it was like I stopped laughing.
Well, that's what you have to do to get through.
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do.
Comedy and tragedy. Anyway, how are you? We need to come down.
Ooh, okay.
It's our first episode. And the pilot episode will eventually be forgotten, like of the series,
right?
Of our podcast.
Yes.
So like this needs to be great, but it doesn't need to be perfect.
I mean, everything,
no
everything we do is kind of perfect. So it's like,
I'm
it's
a little
just inevitable.
And I'm like up right now because, after this, I have the Naked Comedy Show.
Yes.
So I'm kind of like, I'm all the way on.
Yes.
But I need to like chill.
I'm drinking a Diet Coke right now. Mm-hmm. And by within 30 minutes, I'm going to be like really fucked up. So
what does that mean?
It just means I don't know. You know what it means.
But I don't.
You know when I text you like
2, they're going to hear it.
Right, when I start texting you like nonstop voice memos.
But like, what are you feeling when you're on Diet Coke?
Racing, this acid and I don't know. It kind of feels like I'm about to come up on acid.
Okay,
but it's just Diet Coke, and then I'm fine.
See, I have a Diet Coke here too. Mm-hmm. I don't really like the way this one looks, but
it's very European.
When
in Rome. Sorry, I had to say that. Anyways,
okay. No, but when I drink like a Diet Coke before bed. So for me, this is just like I'm drinking it for like yummy.
I can't trip.
You can't trip before bed. Only some of us can handle that. All right, we're here.
And this is a comedian's guide to rewatching Sex and the City.
Both Nora and I are comedians here in New York, here in Brooklyn at the moment. Mm-hmm. And we're not just this is not your average podcast.
It's literally completely different.
It's completely different.
It's so different than you've ever, it's
two comedians thinking they should have access to more microphones. It's never happened before. We basically though, we were watching Sex and the City together. This is a lie. We didn't do that.
I was waiting for this story and I was going to like improvise where I was going to come in. And I was like, and then I
realized that we didn't watch Sex and the City until we decided to do the podcast.
It just made sense. It made sense because we were both like, we were going to just talk about sex. Then we were just going to talk about dating. Then we were just going to talk about ourselves. And then we found that the best way to do that was through Sex and the City.
Yeah.
And then have a comedian's twist to it, right?
Yeah.
Is that what that's kind of what I think in my head, right?
That's what we're doing here.
Okay.
Wait, and should we get out of the way? What's the question on everybody's mind? Who do you resonate with in the show? Like, who have you always connected with on Sex and the City? Who are you?
Right.
It's so hard. It's hard because it's like, we're both comedians. So we want to be the lead. We want to be the Carrie. But like,
I don't want to be the Carrie.
I want to be the Carrie in terms of like, I would like to have the ability to make it all back to me without people getting mad at me.
Okay.
Like, I'm jealous that in all situations, like people are losing loved ones. And she's like, did you guys hear what I said about that guy I slept with? And they're like, of course. I'm sorry, Carrie, what were you saying?
Okay.
Like, I want that access.
Okay.
I don't want to be Carrie.
Okay.
I probably most want to be Miranda.
Really?
Ignore the reboot. Ignore the reboot. But like.
And I just want to make it very clear that we are going to do all the episodes and all the seasons, and then we are going to dive into it and just like that.
Well, first the movies.
Oh, yeah, of course, the movies too.
Liza Minnelli.
The trip to Dubai. I can't even get into
There's a lot. The girls are so lucky this did well.
Yeah.
Because we won't get into it yet, obviously. But like between the movies and the reboot, like they're so lucky this first franchise did well. Because if not, this is just, it's like watching a car crash. Can't look away.
I can't even. But I feel like it's like what our grandmothers say when they're like, life used to be better. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, and you guys destroyed it. And that's what, and just like that.
And that's because we're getting it just like that. And they got Sex in the City.
Exactly. Should we talk about.
Wait, who are you? Who are you?
You know, I'm going through such a transformational period of my life.
Wait, really quick?
My Miranda. Am I being just like that, Miranda?
Yes.
We're
about to meet your Che Diaz.
God damn it.
You're gonna get fingered in my apartment.
I'm literally the Miranda of just like that right now.
No, you're not. If anything.
Okay. I am.
Okay. Yeah. For people listening, people are not watching. Nora's just doing like a circular hand motion. Her eyes are closed.
I'm trying to see. I guess that right in this very moment, I am feeling a mix of Samantha and Carrie.
Okay.
And I feel like you are Samantha.
I definitely connect the most with Samantha.
Yeah. And she's obviously the coolest character. That was a compliment.
And it was a big one.
And one thing I'm proud about both of us is that neither of us are Charlottes.
Nobody's a Charlotte.
Like
Charlotte.
Don't talk to me if you're a Charlotte.
She's good in just like that. She's like the hero of that story. But that shows how off the rails the show has gone. That really? Charlotte is carrying it on her back.
She really is. And I
connect the most with Samantha and Miranda. I really have Miranda's I think Samantha isn't like aggressive. Samantha like has her worth and her boundaries and she lets you know them. Miranda just like always kind of assumes people are crossing the line men-wise. And that's me with men. Like men say anything to me and I'm at a 10 and they're like, no, it was meant this way.
Okay.
Like with other women, I think I'm more Samantha.
Yeah. Like
but I think in the dating world, I think men would, I've been with the same guy for almost 2 years now. I think he would describe our first meeting like meeting Miranda.
Okay.
Not nice. So she is not nice. She does not believe in love.
Right.
Different now.
Now that I think about it.
That was the first look to camera. I'm in love.
She's in love. Wolf's so wonderful.
I do. I want you guys to know. I don't think I should look at the camera because it's just like on what's his name's podcast. Like I look once and then the back of my head is like, don't forget to look. And then I don't do it naturally. I'm like too aggressive with it. Remember, what's his name?
Jesse.
Okay. So for context also, we're both going to be telling you our stories of like sex and dating and relationships in New York. Mm-hmm. Nora is currently one of the girls. She's a single sexy girl in the city. I have almost been in a relationship for 2 years now, but right up until that, anyone with a penis like could get it, did get it, dealt with it. Like I've been around.
She's been around town.
I've been around. So I don't want you to think my stories are from the relationship point of view. We're going to hardly talk about my boyfriend.
If you want to.
Well, but if it comes up.
Maybe we'll have him as a guest.
When Miranda, probably not.
Okay.
He's never watched.
Oh, then. Well,
and I don't want him to watch and then try to make something funny. He's a comedian like us.
I now know who I am.
Okay. Also, I'm so good at keeping track of time. It's only been 11 minutes.
Amazing.
That's not bad.
I am right now Samantha with a Miranda and just like that moon.
Okay. Who's your rising?
My rising might be Che Diaz.
No. Che is not in you at all.
I feel like I was walking dogs recently and they were at the vet and
I hated that storyline. When I realized how we're never going to talk about the first episode because there's so much to say about it.
There's so much, and I'm just saying that I'm a multi-generational character. I'm Samantha with a little bit of Che and a little bit of Miranda, and I acknowledge that is complicated and not something I'm proud of.
And not 100% true.
Okay.
Because I don't think Che Diaz is in you at all.
I feel like they are, and I don't. But maybe I'm wrong. It's just because of the vet scene. The vet.
Yeah, I don't know if that's enough for that to be like part of your identity.
Okay, fuck it. I'm just going to roll with Samantha for right now.
Okay.
Because that's hot and cool, and that's where,
I would say you're a mix of Samantha and Carrie.
Oh, wow.
But not Carrie in a bad way.
Yeah.
Like just Carrie, like I don't think you're as ruthless as Samantha is out there.
Not at all.
Like I don't think you're like fucking and humping and dumping.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I feel like, and like you recently were in a relationship and like not Miranda, like Samantha doesn't have those stories of like, I was just seeing this guy. He's my boyfriend. Like she doesn't have that.
Yeah.
That's Carrie. That's the Carrie in you.
I feel like sometimes I'm Stanford. Like a little Stan in me.
Oh, Stan in me. Sounds like a virus.
Stan in me.
I feel like
he's always like bopping around.
Watching these first 2 episodes.
R.I.P. by the way.
Yes, of course. Moment of silence.
Okay.
He'll appreciate that. I think.
What was his
I think when the girls get their hands on this, they'll be like, "That was really respectful."
What was his storyline that he like went on a really long trip to Thailand?
That was
so fucked
I know
up.
that they had just killed off Big, but like, just kill him off as
if
well.
If you're gonna kill someone, kill
He's
the
like
whole cast.
in Tokyo with a TikTok star. Like, no, he's not.
That was awful.
And we'll obviously talk about this when we get into the episodes, whenever that happens. If that ever comes to be. But he really, like, I've obviously watched the whole show a few times through. They're in the beginning, they're not problematic about him. Like much later in the series, does Carrie become like such a like problematic straight girl with like a gay best friend behavior. In the beginning, like I was like, this is good. He's like her best friend. He's telling some of his stories of being gay. Carrie's not saying anything. She always, later in the show, she always has some like choice words about his sexuality.
I mean, the whole thing. And I think that, I mean, should we dive into the pilot?
Yeah, we should.
Okay. So the first episode and our first episode is going to be rewatching and recapping episode 1 of Sex and the City, which is called Sex and the City.
Which I love.
Love it. Great name.
Mm-hmm.
And we start off by hearing about a woman's story named Elizabeth who meets, I was about to say fella.
I was going to say Ben.
I don't remember what his name is, but they meet at an art gallery.
I wrote Elizabeth meets her boyfriend. Which is
at an art
really
gallery.
Interesting of me.
And we then go into
Ben, yes.
Ben.
Sorry.
Elizabeth and Ben. And at first everything's like, oh my God, this is amazing. He's my boyfriend. This is so lit. And then things take a turn.
They go shopping for apartments together.
And I think they were in London when they did that, which was crazy.
Crazy.
And then he basically drops her. And so the entire episode is then about the idea around toxic bachelors, right? And how
and women fucking turning the table and fucking like men, dating like men.
Exactly.
Like, can we do it?
Exactly. And so Carrie has this whole thing where she's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna start fucking like men. And we see her having like day sex casually with that guy. And it's just
Have you ever done that? Have you ever met up with someone during the day to have sex?
No. Have
Me
you?
Neither. I've with my boyfriend, but like not like I've never gone on a date and had day sex. I'm not horny like that. I'm like good for Carrie.
Yeah. I feel like if I was in the city
that
and
to
I
me was
working,
like when she left his
sense.
place and it was day, I was like, she's really going for it.
Yeah, she's going for it. She's really diving into it.
She left lunch with Stan, with Stanny.
Poor Stan. He really just gets left behind.
And we'll get into this in the second episode. I was like, how cruel of her.
That was so fucked up.
When she was like, he was like, how could you? And she was like, I didn't. And I was like, but you
did.
Like, what? Anyway.
But I think one of the main questions that we had for like, in terms of like a theme of this episode, it's like, who is your most recent toxic bachelor? Should we do some name dropping? Just kidding.
I was just about to. I was going to be Carlos, Dylan, Lee.
And then,
Lee and Carlos
should we start there? Should we start there? Like, what were the qualities of your most recent NYC toxic bachelor?
Yeah, I feel like I had back-to-back Bens.
Really?
The Bens. Isn't that what it's saying? What is something called?
Sorry.
The Bens?
It's a train of Bens?
No, but what is the Bens? If someone says, I have the Bens. Nausea?
Is that like a sickness?
I think so, right? Have you heard of this?
Yeah, that sounds awful. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry. Did you get over the Bens?
I'm still sick. Right before meeting the guy I'm with now, Wolf, my boyfriend, the guy I'm with now.
My feet are purple right now.
Really? Because you're so cold?
Just a cold little lady.
Maybe we should start bringing blankets.
Yeah.
Like, who's the guy who had polio? You know what?
Wait, hold on.
Wait, I'm going back.
Is this about Wolf?
No.
Okay.
So I'm going to skip it.
All right.
We'll talk about polio off the pod.
Okay. Yeah.
So I, right before meeting my current boyfriend, I dated for like on and off varying times, but for either like a few weeks or a few months, back-to-back 30-year-olds, okay?
Okay.
All who have the maturity and the knowledge of what women want all were voice memoing, calling, planning dates, being honest about what they were looking for. And even if they told me we weren't looking for the same thing, because this was now a point where I was like telling people I want to be in a relationship, right? They would say like, I don't know if I want that, but I'm like loving hanging out with you and we clearly have a connection. Like, let's keep seeing where it goes. Manipulative, right? Like it wasn't going anywhere. All three guys then at the end, like Lee, guy number one, called me out of nowhere to be like, just so you know, I do think we should keep hooking up. And I was like, great, me too. And then he goes, but I just want you to know, I'm never going to see you romantically.
What?
And I was like, okay, well, we're not going to keep hooking.
See, that's the thing that's so crazy to me. Like in order for me to fuck you, I need to at least see you romantically. Like these guys.
Right, like even if we weren't going to date, I was not seeing you in any other light other than romantic.
Like, what were you seeing me as? Like a whole?
What am I?
What it's
am
awful.
I to you? Like, draw a picture of me.
And
draw
it's
a picture
so,
of what you see.
Yeah, draw a picture of what you see. And also, like, why? Yeah, that's so... Lee.
I know. Lee's now a friend, and he's a mess. He's a mess. We dodged a bullet. But he's a good friend. He'd be okay with this. And you know what? He's not a good enough friend that's going to listen to the pod. So I'm not too worried.
There you go.
Carlos, another nice, handsome 30-year-old. But, you know, we can't teach men about a polyamorous relationship. Do not tell men what that is. They shouldn't have access to it. Carlos
really
basically,
they abuse it.
The whole thing was that's what he has to be in. That's what he has to be in. But then for the whole time we saw each other, neither of us ever saw other people. So then I was like, okay, like maybe he doesn't have to be in that. So then we talked about that. And then it was like, no, I have to be in that. So I was like, all right, well, you've known the whole time what I actually wanted. It sucked. But he's a good friend too. When I did that show, Win a Date with My Ex, both Lee and Carlos were nice enough to do it.
Hannah had a stand-up show where she literally
like auctioned off
her ex-boyfriend.
It was mostly like a roast too, and they all took it so well.
That's
nice
amazing.
guys. They're nice guys. They're just not good boyfriends. And then Dylan, nice guy, great comic. We might want to bleep his name because of how much info I just gave. Carlos and Lee will be fine with it. But Dylan,
I'm not giving names. I have too much anxiety.
I can't. I'm about to drop full name, address.
I know, you're like address, social security.
I'm like, what do you want to know? After we had sex and he knew what I was looking for, right afterwards, he informed me that that's not what he wants from me. But then stayed over and then asked me if I wanted to go mattress shopping with him.
What?
Yeah.
At what store?
He loved my mattress.
God.
I know.
Okay, so Toxic Bachelors.
That was which made Wolf look like an angel. Yeah. Wolf got by making a lot of mistakes early on that just were completely forgiven because of the last I
need to cross my
year.
Legs.
Okay.
So I have one kind of, just fuck it. You said all these names. I'm not going to say the name.
If afterwards you regret it, we can, like I said, it's all going to happen in post.
I had someone who, as you know, tweeted during our hookup.
Yes.
That was
He's not going to listen.
He might.
You're right. He might. Big Sex and the City head.
So I think that was my Toxic Bachelor.
And I think we can say to everybody that this was early on in Nora and I's friendship, and I made the mistake of setting her up with someone.
I asked Hannah, I said, hey, can you set me up with someone? Your boyfriend seems great. Does he have any friends? She set me up with one of his friends. We're not going to get into it.
He's not great. Okay, it was a mistake on my end.
He's actually very nice. But he brought me back to his house and then claimed that I was giving him blue balls. Even though I told him that I wasn't going to have sex with him. And then he proceeded to take out his Twitter, and he's a comedian. So he needed to get some material out in the public
that couldn't wait until after you left.
And the line, the thing that he needed to tweet out, and I'm pretty sure he was still hard, like literally what he needed to tweet.
The imaging.
I'm so sorry. Was blue balls are real. I'm going to die on this hill. And I was like...
And he did die on that hill.
And
that was where you guys left it.
Yeah. And then I was like, okay, That was really weird.
Do men not think like we talk to each other?
It's
like when men act like this, do they not think we're going to like say to each other, it's like our friends and like their friends?
Then I tried to fuck like a guy like Harry.
Handing me that.
I'm just sorry.
I was like, here it comes.
Just rolling face. I see, this is the thing that's also really crazy is that, and this is the toxic bachelor and this is the toxic bachelorette, here is then I was like, well, he had a really nice dick and he was just generally like had a good body. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like maybe I should just have casual sex with him. And I proposed that and he was like, no. And then I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I could have been on top of in a lot of ways, but I could have been literally like on top and just been like, that was a weird thing.
I never want to see you again.
All of my stories with toxic bachelors end up in the end and I'm like, and then I fucked them and then I had their dick in my mouth and it's like, Nora, what the fuck?
But there's something about like you want to not like them, but you don't want them to not like you. Like when those 3 guys all didn't like me back to back to back, that was really jarring for someone with an ego like mine. I was the math is not adding up.
But then it led to your prince.
It did lead to my prince.
And that's
what I'm saying. You're clearly on your road.
I think I'm on my, every day I'm like, this is the day.
Today's the day.
And
maybe tonight at the show.
We're going to a naked comedy show and Hannah is performing.
I performed a couple times on it. The first time I performed, it was my equivalent of like when NASA sent that woman to space with like 1,000 tampons. I had my period and I'd asked like, can I wear my underwear because of that? Like whatever. And he was like, the whole thing is that you got to be fully nude. Like if you want to just do a different show, do a different show. Right. And I was like, you know what? I'll just do it with the tampon in. And he goes, but also don't stress. I can lay down a red towel right before you go on stage. And I do you think
that is
to me?
That's
with
a toxic
tampon
bachelor.
In. Like, do you know? I was just saying, like, well, obviously,
a red towel,
but
it was still dribble down your leg.
It wouldn't drip the way he was thinking. He's thinking I'm pissing, obviously. And if I am going to be pissing, I'll just do a different show. Like if I'm going to be pissing on stage. He said that and I was like, no, please don't do that. It's okay. And then I made a joke about the tampon string. So it was all fine. But I was like, can you imagine how mortifying if he like introduced me and then while naked, because he's
like
naked
a piece of like performance art.
And then I would have to address it. I can't just be like, I'm the one on the red towel. Don't worry about it. Like
that's like didn't they do that to like women? They would like put them in tents.
That would have been my tent.
That was your.
That was my tent.
There's like a book about it.
What was I going to do? Have whoever comes up next like clean up my little towel? Like it's just also like so shocking.
They should do a period show.
They should.
Everyone has their period. Just get one towel. Let everyone just keep
but like
going
with the tampon in, like
you
couldn't even see on the string blood. Like
you know what he's thinking?
Obviously put in a fresh tampon.
I wonder if he thinks that when he has sex with a woman on her period, she's wearing a tampon.
There's no way.
Because I bet you what happened.
Do you guys think that?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think like an idiot right now.
Just working out, thinking out loud.
I'm just saying, like, I bet you what they do is they say, well, when I had sex with my girlfriend,
we're like, it's been an hour.
and we had period sex, we had to lay down a towel. And so I'm assuming they think that that's what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I'm not giving them enough credit.
But the towel,
Sorry, I don't know.
the towel, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anyway. So we've been with Ben's.
We've been with Ben's.
And now poor Elizabeth has been with a Ben. And the best thing she's going to get out of it is being in Carrie's blog.
And Carrie's question in her blog is, are women in New York really giving up on love and throttling up on power?
And I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like in her friend group, she can even see that. Like, she's not doing that. She's testing it out for the day. Also, this story of Elizabeth is that Elizabeth is not giving up on love. Like, she's just mad at what Ben did.
Yeah.
Samantha's doing it.
Yeah.
And Miranda's not doing it. Miranda's just leading with that vibe, but then she'll date you. We all know Charlotte. Moment of silence. I don't hate Charlotte. She's the cutest little cutie pie.
She annoys me.
Her on that date, that dress, I put it in here. Oh my God, she looks stunning.
That was great. And then you found an equivalent one on
yes.
Shein. On Shein. So that's
fantastic company support.
We want to support Shein here.
Business.
This local business.
Okay, sorry.
Shein.
Well, for context, and I'll say this about me, but you correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just not going to be the girl who figures out all the brands these girls are wearing for every episode. Like, I'm just not going to have that knowledge, but I'm going to be able to describe to you guys an outfit they wore in an episode. And then I'm just going to find a version of that.
Which is exactly what we want you to do.
Because I will say
everyone wants
everyone here.
That was great. And I think, so this is something I actually wanted to talk to you about. And I think this is a big thing for me, specifically in regards to Charlotte. I've been trying to do the absolutely no coming home with me after the first date. Mm-hmm. So I saw where Charlotte was going with that.
Yeah.
And I genuinely, like, when I was with the Twitter guy, I had said to him, okay, well, let's go. And he said, we're going to watch a movie.
Yeah.
And how old am I going to be until it processes in my brain that whenever a guy asks you to watch a movie after a date, we're not watching a movie. Like, I was in the cab, I was like, we could watch Say Anything. We could watch this. He's like, Like, what is wrong with me?
Okay, but I don't think anything's wrong with you because Carlos and I agree. Well, he's already been dropped. He's kind of like the lead of this episode, honestly. He invited me over once to watch a movie.
But they never want to watch a movie.
And I got there ready to fuck because I'm like, I know what's happening. I know how this works. And during the movie, I've got like my hand on his thigh. Like, I'm ready for whenever we're done watching. And we watched that movie cover to cover.
Really?
And then we talked about it. And they said, should we order food? And I was like, when are we fucking?
Wow.
Carlos actually we weren't having like tons of sex. We were having like long hangouts of like watching movies and eating food together and talking and like having like intimate hangouts. And then I'd be ready to fuck. And he's like, you've got to slow down. And I'm like, wow. Do I? Like,
do I,
fuck
Carlos?
Me?
Come on.
I was like, why can't we do both?
That's really interesting. And
he was 10.
What was wrong with Carlos again?
The polyamorous thing.
No,
he also was like, he was also like, we were both
not that I'm anti-poly, but I just,
be poly.
Be poly if you want to be poly.
You have to
be. If you're a woman, non-binary person, be poly. If you're a man,
Carlos also was like, got out of a long-term relationship and then started dating this girl right after. And then they ended not because he wanted to. And then he met me. So I was kind of like, he was grieving 7 years and then he was coping with losing someone he didn't want to lose. And then it's like, and here's Hannah. It's not like I'm the girl. He's like, oh my God, I'll forget about all the women. He would like talk to me all the time about the other women. And I was like, yeah, well,
maybe I should just go watch some movies with Carlos.
You should.
I mean, it was crazy. Like, the second a movie was put on, he was on top of me being like, let's hang out that way instead.
Carlos also was like 10 years older than me. He's older. He's got a young, hot thing in his apartment rubbing his thigh. I'm like, why are we watching this?
But that was really crazy in the episode.
And then I learned afterwards he'd already watched it.
What?
So I was like, movie.
Oh my God.
I was like, this was for me?
For a second, I thought you were talking about Sex and the City. I was like, he watched the episode? The other thing with Charlotte on that whole scene is this idea of going to chaos. And then Charlotte's like, she's like, I'm not gonna have sex with you. And then he go back and he goes back to chaos.
He goes back to the club and he's like,
what's the equivalent of chaos in Bushwick, right? Like, I would say
mood ring.
Maybe mood ring, maybe
even Duck for the Straights on the weekend.
I hooked up with someone at Duck. That was fun.
I used to bring all my first dates to Duck because it's right near where I live.
I went on a date with someone at Duck that had a broken leg, and he was like 6'5", and it was insane. And he got it from a skiing accident. Hot, and
a little money in the bank.
No, he had forgotten his wallet, and I had to pay for all the drinks. And he was like hobbling around.
Like
and I was like,
I
gotta get. I was to make a wish, and I had to get out. And yeah, it was really bad. But anyways, then I also made out with someone at Duck once, and it was amazing. I think also maybe even a younger version of chaos would be Bossa Nova Civic Club. That's kind of crazy.
I don't know what that is.
It's just a place where you go to like do coke. And then or Public Records, which is very sceney in Gowanus. You've never,
I don't know.
You know what? I don't even want to take you there. sorry, public records, it's too much.
Oh, I thought you were like, just because I didn't know.
No. I'm just saying, like, you don't need to see it.
Okay.
And I mean that, and you know what? It's so sceney now.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone,
People
it's
are
like
ruining
you just
places.
go, yes.
Duck
it's like everyone
ruined.
is like, no, like the public records was
2 carbonated drinks. Like, what's wrong with me?
You're double fisting.
Oh my God. Do you see me privately handling my gas?
Hannah's having a little.
I agree with you though.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this is what I want to do. So, core of the episode, the way the whole episode goes, because we're gonna get into like our thoughts on each thing. It opens though right from Carrie's perspective of the blogging. We're learning about Elizabeth and Ben, and we're posing the question like, are women fucking like men? Should women be fucking like men? I think the real question should be like, should men get better? Because all the men they're like interviewing, because this is like in the first season
like
when they're
the guy
still doing
in the gym.
They're like, why don't they just marry a tub of lard? I was like,
wasn't that the rock climbing guy?
Yes. I was like, this is terrible. Like they should have immediately switched to like, maybe we should all hold out on men, should not have sex with men until they get better.
Yeah.
But the episode from there goes, we meet all the girls. They all look so good dressed in all black at whose birthday is it? Is it Miranda's
birthday at the drag show. Her big straight birthday at the drag show.
Straight birthday.
Yep.
This is your Che rising. They all look great, and we start learning basically each girl's personality of how they all feel. Charlotte, our hopeless romantic. Miranda, like, already hates men. Someone before the show started, someone did something to her.
She picks up that chicken in the buffet line. She's like, you know what about and it's just like
watching her eat throughout the whole thing.
She eats a lot throughout the whole thing.
Well,
like,
wait, what is this word? What is it? Pseudo?
Pseudo attractive.
That was like in the casting description for Miranda. That was like the description for her. She apparently was also worried about getting cast in this, that she was going to get like pigeonholed as like this girl who only does sexy shows. I was like, don't you worry, girl. They're not gonna, the way they're gonna dress you.
Really didn't have to worry about that.
They
just like
not gonna put you in that box.
And then we learned that Kim Cattrall was the last person to join the main cast.
And boy, oh boy, did they treat her that way.
Thank God.
Boy, oh boy.
She was there.
She's so stunning.
She's beautiful.
Looking at all of them, they really are all so gorgeous. And they look so young.
Insane.
And so cute. I will say one thing I can't wait for it to be done is Carrie talking to the camera.
Yeah.
Drop it, Care. We're already listening to your blog. We don't need you talking to us as well.
I kind of like when she makes eye contact with me.
Really?
But I also see what you're saying. I'm
with you.
With me.
Not with me. With you.
Jinx.
You owe me a soda. This is next time we need to just bring like water. Because I'm burping over here.
I'm on acid. So
you're on acid.
My trip is about to start.
And
then my favorite line of this episode, which I wrote down, was, and just when I thought I'd have to do the unspeakable, walk home.
Like, does she know what it's like? Way to tell us that like you're not actually living in New York. First things first, we never see her on a train, but she at some points is like struggling financially. Then get on the train, Care. Get on the train.
I also, and this is something that we're going to talk about in the next episode as well, but like, does Big have like Find My Friends or something? Like, what is going on?
I literally could, I'll say what I'm going to say on that.
Yeah.
I truly forgot. I can't believe we meet Big so immediately.
And that Samantha goes for him first, and then she gets rejected, and then Carrie swoops in. I'd be so annoyed at Carrie for so long. I would be
first
so
2 episodes, Carrie shows 2 of her friends like, I don't care what you tell me. I don't care that you like a guy.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go for them.
Back to back.
Gay, straight, whatever,
like, what am I
coming
supposed
for
to
them.
do?
Yeah.
I also like, no offense to Carrie. Obviously we know it all worked out and then it dies and then whatever. That's me saying Big dies. But like, if a man that I've met at a club for 5 minutes, who has been described as the next Donald Trump, pulls up in his car and says, get in. I'm like, no. But I mean, for Carrie, the unspeakable is walking home. So I guess she's like, oh,
if it was okay, and obviously if they didn't say Donald Trump, let's say they said, because at the time Donald Trump wasn't or he was, but we didn't know the extent of his Trumpiness. What I was going to say is that like if I did meet a rich guy who had like status in New York, and the unspeakable was about to happen of me walking home from the club,
you get in the car?
I think I might get in the car.
I don't know. If we left the club together, I'll get in the car. The pulling up on the side of the road, I think is...
And the reason being that it's like
how'd
this
you
like
find
sexy...
me?
Okay, yeah. I guess it's not sexy. It's like creepy.
But I mean, I will say, I know that we're not on his side as an actor, but oh my God, the first couple of shots of him, he is so handsome. He's in that suit.
That's what I'm saying. Get in the car.
I still wouldn't get in the car.
Well...
Also, I know me. I'm downstairs in the room Samantha has a key to with somebody at the bar. Like, I know me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not walking home.
I think that we
also like being in a relationship really ages you. Like, I want you to know, like, I used to be like out so late. I was kissing people. I was down in the basement. You know, I'd probably get in the car back in the day. But me, like around, I can't believe I'm on a 10 o'clock show tonight. I'm like,
that's crazy.
I'm like, that's late.
Well, see, I'm not even in a relationship, and I kind of feel like I'm veering into that zone just because I don't drink.
It's a great zone to be, though.
I
love it here. We should get. Well, you're gonna stay in your apartment forever, and I'll probably stay in mine forever too. I was gonna say we should get like a conjoined house.
I honestly, let's fucking go.
When this pod takes. Oh my God, I'm never getting a carbonated drink again.
Hannah keeps on burping and doing it in like she's like
but anyway, in this first episode we do meet Mr. Big, but we meet him first through the lens of Samantha trying to sleep with him. We also meet the man Charlotte goes on a date with, who then Charlotte, believes it's not right to sleep with him the first date. And then this guy shows how scummy he is and goes to chaos. And I just want to say, like, Samantha is supposed to be the one who does fuck like men and is the powerful, business oriented, gets what she wants.
Right.
So I don't really like that in the first episode, like, we watch her get rejected for this guy who's into Carrie.
And she gets like Charlotte's
and then
leftovers.
She gets to sleep with the guy who Charlotte was like, I'm too much of a lady to sleep with. And this guy doesn't even ask Samantha to sleep over. I'm like, Samantha is one of those girls who gets like suckered in and then it's too late. The amount of times I've gotten to a guy's place and then he's delivered to me bad news and I'm like, I'm already here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to have sex. Like, that's the worst girl to be. You hate being that girl. And I'm like, how is and later in the series, they iron out Samantha.
I always do the like, oh, I should leave. And then I wait for them to beg for me not to. And if they're not begging, then I'm leaving.
And you're like,
I'm like, all right, I guess
all you had to say was
I
one
should
thing.
leave. Okay, goodbye. I'll go fucking kill myself.
Wanted to tell you something really quick.
Yeah.
So one time for a while, like when I started realizing I wanted to be in a relationship, I didn't have sex on the first date. I was like, I'm going to go on a couple dates and then decide if I want to have sex with them. I'm not just going to do it and then have the anxiety of like, now we slept together. Am I going to hear from them?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do right now. And it's
hard
not
to
working.
Do. It's so hard to do.
Because they're like, well, I hate you because we didn't have sex the first night. And I'm like, okay, bye.
You're like, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm the worst.
Do you want to tweet about it?
Do you want to have sex?
Do you want me to like your tweet?
Like, that's what he wants, honestly. He obviously tweeted that because he thought that was like groundbreaking to say.
Yeah, which is so...
But I went on a date with this guy and it was pouring rain. He had a car. He drove me home. I kissed him.
Big vibes.
I know.
You did not do the unspeakable.
It's the pilot episode.
You were not doing the unspeakable.
We kissed goodbye. And he asked if he can come up. And I was like, no. Like, I'll see you. We're seeing each other in a couple days. Like, let's see how that date goes, whatever. I go upstairs. I'm drunk from the date, right? So I'm like making food. I'm like running.
Oh, I'm burping from the...
Yours, I thought you were about to tell me something like, don't share the story.
No.
I was like, you don't know
share
about
everything.
You don't know about Giovanni.
Carlos, lead.
Giovanni. I go upstairs. I'm drunk. I think he's gone, right? I'm cooking. I'm getting my PJs. I'm like, wow, I nailed that.
What are you cooking?
When I was drunk, like I would come home and like, we're making couscous. We're cooking up chicken. Like
couscous.
This is when I worked a 9 to 5 too.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have to be sober before I go to sleep. So I was like, I would stay up until like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., cooking a full meal, drinking a bunch of water. Cause I was like, I can't pass out and not pick out my outfit for the day and then have to get up at like 6 a.m.
Right. Okay.
It was quite the cycle I was in.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. That wasn't also good planning. I just should have like drank less.
You should have made the couscous before you went out.
Exactly. There's so many shoulda, coulda, woulda. But anyway, I'm doing this and then he calls me. He calls me Giovanni, and I'm like, Giovanni.
Are you in like Italy? Like, where is this?
I'm at my place around the corner.
Okay, so Hannah lives in New York. We both live in New York,
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
He calls me, okay, and this is like embarrassing the way this story ends with what I'm about to tell you. And he goes, "I'm having car troubles," and I was like, "What? Oh my god,
a car? Oh yeah,
drove me home.
Yeah. Sorry.
Big vibes.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
My Miranda rising.
Don't worry about it. He calls me. He goes, "I'm having car trouble." I go, "Oh my god, what's wrong?" He goes, "My car won't drive." And I go, "Why?" He goes, "I think she's upset." And I was like,
"She?"
What? Yeah. Okay. And I go, uh-oh. Like, what do you mean she's upset? And he goes, "I don't know, but I think she would work if I got a little sex." Oh. And Nora, the way I slept with this man.
Oh, no.
So his car could drive.
Hannah.
And I called my friend and I told, because he was around the corner. Like he had left and then thought about this and was like, now I'm going to turn around and come back. And I called my friend and I go, I'm letting Giovanni. I tell you the story and she goes, no, like, no, you're not. And I was like, I think it's pretty funny. And she was like, it doesn't have to be funny though. And you have sex with him.
You were pulling out your Samantha and being like, I'm going to own this situation. And
I want to have
hilarious.
sex. And I like,
because Giovanni.
My brain has always been split
I feel
between.
Like I'm moving so much, and you're just like totally fine, and I'm moving around.
I don't think I'm moving around.
It's because I'm double jointed, but we don't even have to get into it.
Brag, absolute brag.
It's a hard life.
Wait, can you do that arm thing?
I know, but I can go like this.
Can I?
Well, if you
you feel like I'm doing it.
No, you're not. You're not going like that.
Okay, yeah, yours are like about to snap off.
Mine are about to snap off. Ooh. I had a doctor tell me it was true, so I'm not making
I'll see what the doctor says when he sees this. I'll show him this and
You'll have to see the exact same
what he says
to see what he says.
But anyway, but I will say with the theme of the episode, I've always felt split between like, I like having sex. Like, why can't I just want to have sex?
Yeah.
And also, why can't I want to have sex and that also be someone, like, why can't I have sex on the first date and still be the girl who you should marry? Like, I don't understand why that can't be the same girl. I wanted to date Giovanni and I wanted to have sex with him that night, but why did I have to, in order to show him I was serious, not have sex? Like, we both want to have sex. Like, the guy I'm dating now, Wolf and I went on like 4 dates before we had sex. And the whole time I was like, these dates would be so much more fun if like, I'd already fucked him like the whole time.
Yeah.
Obviously that time it worked out for the best. And there's times where I've had sex and thought we were going to date and then we didn't. Not Wolf, other guys. But I feel like this episode, they go all the way. They give the sex power to men. Like, should we fuck like men? Whatever.
I understand the car situation. And yeah, I would love to be a slutty housewife. I think that'd be really fun. And I think men should give us that space to do that.
I'm also checking time here. I don't want you to think I'm like checking my phone while you're telling the story.
No, it's totally fine. One thing I will say about the Twitter man, before
I said like I was pissed.
Before the tweet went down,
went viral.
went viral.
It didn't.
Before it went viral, he also showed me his woodwork.
Like, the hard thing about that is woodworking can be sexy.
Okay. I'm just gonna lay this out there. I just need to say this. If you, and no men are listening to this, so fuck. But no straight men are listening to this. But tell your straight male friends, do not show me a piece of plywood that you have taken a little knife to, a pocket knife, whittled a little bit and said, and then go up to me and say, look at my woodwork. That's not woodwork, honey. That's a little stub. That is like, it looks like you were chewing on that. You look like it was like a dog toy.
It's so scary, like the ego that men have to even show. Like, if I made that, no one would ever
thing
see
to
it.
show me. And then still after he showed me his woodworking skills, after that, that's when we started hooking up. So it was just like, I was just kind of like, I'm kind of like I'm kind of horny. I want to just like hook up.
Right.
I don't like, fuck. I mean, the woodworking sucked, but like, whatever. We just have to move forward.
I won't ask him to build me a table.
I guess he's not going to build me a table.
I'm not trying to build a house.
He also said that he gave the spoon, which is what he said it was, which it wasn't. No. He said he gave.
You should have been like, eat cereal with that.
Yeah.
Show me that it works.
It's like insane. He said he gave the spoon to his ex-girlfriend as a peace offering, and that
this thing he's bragging to you about,
and it's
already been a gift to a girl. Sorry, keep going.
Oh my God! And I still had his dick in my mouth within an hour.
But that was for you. That wasn't for. That was for you.
Was that for me? Was that for me?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish men would just be normal so we could fuck them like men.
Yeah.
Every time I hear a noise, I'm like, that's 45 minutes. This time I feel like it really is.
The last thing that I want to say about this episode is that Carrie is wearing a beautiful leopard top at Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to give a shout out to...
Isn't that episode 2? Oh, no, you're right. What
no,
she was... Sorry.
No,
I'm thinking about what she wore at where she met Big a second time.
No, it's all good. I did find a beautiful leopard bra from my favorite lingerie shop
which we're going to tomorrow.
Yes. It's called the Rack Shack. The woman who owns it is a joy. Her name is Laura. She's amazing. She literally
is she there every day? Like, am I going to meet her?
I hope we should call ahead and make sure that she's there. She looks at your boobs and it's just like, I know what size you are. And it's very size inclusive. I have huge tits. It's like brag. I have really big boobs, and she has a bra for me, and they're hot.
Different things to this
they're
podcast.
hot, and like she. So, anyways, there's a.
So you found something like Carrie's.
Yeah, I found something like Carrie's. It's like a leopard. You just type in leopard, or if you go to the store, they'll have a leopard top.
Head to Rack Shack in Bushwick.
Yeah, and I said female owned Wonderland is how I described it. Mm-hmm. Size inclusive lingerie, and it's local.
I'm excited to go because I buy all my lingerie from the big brand, from the big VS, Victoria's Secret.
That's really.
I don't buy my like.
Did they have an Abercrombie moment where they're like now they're doing better?
Kind of.
Okay.
They're like. I mean, I buy all my day-to-day underwear at Gap. I buy all my thongs at Gap, and then I buy my bras from Skims. But if I'm buying sexy lingerie, I'm not paying Skims prices, and you'll never believe it, Gap doesn't make lingerie. So I have no choice to meet in the middle.
It's insane.
They have some really... Oh my God.
I thought you were about to throw up.
Disgusting.
I thought you were throw up.
I mean, if we were just talking this far away from each other at a table, like I would just like casually burp. But I know this is yeah, it's just disgusting. What if someone like really hates burps? You do. I used to. I'll tell you offline about Jenna.
Oh, Jenna!
It's a girl. A girl burped in my face once, and it smelled so bad I threw up on myself. Which is why it's crazy that here I am,
Jenna,
like burping. Jenna, congrats on your new baby.
Look, I understand that people have to burp. I have a friend who burps incessantly in my face, and it's
I would never do that.
Okay,
you see what I'm doing over here.
I see what you're doing. You're
trying to set it to the trees.
Yeah, you're doing it, setting it to the tree. It's all good.
But anyway, sorry. What was I saying before that? Oh, I buy my lingerie at Victoria's Secret, but just because it's semi-affordable, it's cute. I know my size there, but it's not like where I want to be. But I don't feel like other brands are doing the best marketing. Like, I don't know off the top of my head. Or there's Adore Me, I think it's called. They have really cute lingerie, but it's like if you want to spend $300 on a set. And I'm like, I don't, because I don't know if they're aware of how I'm going to be using this set, but it's going to be worn like once every 6 months and not fucked lovingly.
and on that note.
Wait, we have to talk about how it ended.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The end of the episode, Carrie does what Nora would do, and she gets in the car.
My mom's gonna hate that.
And she wants
Nora just jumps into the car with the mini Trump.
And she's driving with Big and she's telling him how she thinks like women should fuck like men, like we should flip the script, whatever. And Big says,
I just want a funny lady. Isn't that what he said?
No.
Sorry, my brain.
It ends with.
Sorry, I think my brain.
I was like, did I write it down exactly?
No, I think my brain is pretty. He never says I want a funny lady.
Wait, episode 2. He says he wants just want to be with the one who makes you laugh.
Yes, okay. He wants
you were like
funny
trying to spoof me, funny lady. No, this he goes. I guess you've never been in love, or you've never been in love.
Oh yeah. And he's like, I've been in love. Blah 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 blah
and
blah.
It freeze frames on her, and she's like, I had whiplash.
I realized I never been in love.
She'd never been in love, and Big has, and that's what I'm saying is so hurtful because he's been in love. He won't have sex with Samantha. That's what I'm saying. It all any sound back there is not even distracting. It's just I'm so on alert about the time, you know? But anyway.
And one thing that we note from this episode
have
is
you been in love?
Huh?
You have whiplash. Just like Carrie. She like, if I asked someone a question and they removed their body the way she did, I'd be like, okay, don't answer. Never mind.
I think I've loved so many people that do not love me back. But
okay.
And I think there have been some people that love me that don't. It's never
you didn't love that.
It's never been like it's never been like
a two-party.
Hey, you good? We're good. Okay, yeah, we love each other. I guess honestly,
you good? We good?
I feel like I either have someone love bombing me or I have someone who's like, you should probably leave now that we've had sex. You know what I mean? And there's no middle ground.
We're looking for the middle ground.
Yeah. But honestly, recently I haven't even been. I know last night was really stupid. Never mind. I guess I have been looking. So I gave some. I can't even get into it. We'll talk about that in the next episode. We can't. Dating comedians is complicated.
It's the worst thing you could do for yourself.
I'm just saying, like, it's just complicated.
He's pretty complicated too.
Okay.
And it's hard that part of our relationship is both of us doing the same thing. There's a little bit of a competitive aspect sometimes. That part is like, you know, when I was dating, just like, no offense, but like, you know, 9-to-5ers, they just thought what I was doing, and they weren't who didn't do other stuff.
You're amazing.
They thought it was like the coolest thing I ever did, where Wolf doesn't think that because he does it. And he knows it's not cool. Wait till he
watches this. He's going to be like, this is cool.
He thinks I'm great at it, and I think he's great at it. And I think we both recognize that it's like sexy and impressive that we have this hustle for something that's like a big, lofty dream that's going to be like, it's sexy that we both are trying our hardest to make the life we want for ourselves, whatever. Yes.
But, I love passionate men.
Yeah.
I
love
women. I love like, just have a fucking passion.
And women are coming out. and women. But like,
anyone who's passionate, just call me.
Her. Don't call me. Don't call me.
I mean,
or call me and I'll connect you to Nora.
Call Hannah. Have Hannah kind of assess the situation and then give it to me.
Yeah. I'll decide. And this will be me making up for the Twitter guy. This will be my apology.
Big makeup. Yeah.
But yeah, the episode ends with Carrie, for no reason at all, being shocked by someone who's a sex and love columnist, has never thought about this before, which makes no fucking sense. And
I just burped.
That's okay. I didn't even notice. I thought you like maybe had to sneeze. Oh my God. No, much worse. Much worse. And the episode ends. And then, as most people know, as you guys know, as we know, it was like months and months before episode 2. This was like, they did this and they were just hoping HBO would love it.
And you made this note that Carrie's hair was too short.
Yeah, that's what the producer or the execs who were watching it, that was like one of the notes they gave. Yeah. And you'll see in the next episode, she has her hair in a nice little ponytail.
She looks better.
She looks better. Thank you to those old white men with that note.
Thank God they had that note.
They know what women should look like.
Yeah, and then let's just see, flagship show alongside The Sopranos. That's so crazy. I feel so dated.
I know.
Like, holy shit.
Well, when did this come out?
This was the flagship show alongside The Sopranos.
This came out in 1998. I was 1.
Okay, Hannah. We have a little bit of an age difference here.
Little bit.
Which I actually really appreciate, because you can get all different perspectives.
Yeah.
I'm 31.
I'm 26. I don't know why mine went through the... I'm 26.
She's 26.
Turned 26 this year.
I can't wait to celebrate your 27th birthday.
I wish.
I think 27 was my favorite year.
Oh, that's good.
I was like drinking, doing drugs, like partying, like pot.
Just like, not my vibe at all.
I was just like, and the world was our, forgetting the world was my oyster. And just waiting, so everyone knows, within the first episode, I do not drink. And I'm 31.
I don't drink a lot, but that's because I like to get up very early and I like to do a lot in my day, but I'm not sober.
Okay.
I had wine last night. Brag. You have your big boobs and I have alcohol. Take that. That's awful.
Oh my God. We have, and our shared love is Diet Coke. And
I was like, what is she going to say? I don't know what it is.
A lot of stuff that we like.
I know. Comedy, this podcast.
The jelly beans.
The jelly bean. Oh, we need one before the next ep.
100%.
Anyway, well, that was good. We broke it down. We shared our stories. I burped a ton. You burped a couple times. I won't lie. Let's not pretend like I'm the only one who burped.
I'm not gonna lie.
You're like, I wasn't.
I wasn't planning on lying.
And we're about to get ready to record the next one. And how should we sign off? This is our first time saying goodbye.
This has been a pleasure, Hannah.
It has been really good.
I love you, Hannah.
I love you too. All right.
Maybe that's how we'll sign up every day.
Just wrap. I love you, Hannah.
I love you, Hannah.
And I love you, Nora. All right.
All right. Have a great night.
Thank you for listening.
Have sex in the city.
Thank you.
And if you don't, that's okay too.
Good night.
Just watch a movie.
Every time you say something. That's it.